I stood in the middle of my sister's engagement party, my heart pounding like a drum. The room was packed with 50 guests, friends, family, her fiancé's snobby colleagues, all sipping overpriced champagne. I just announced my gift, a $15,000 check for their dream honeymoon to Bali. A big gesture, right? I'm Jake Larson, 32, a software engineer from Seattle, always the reliable one in our dysfunctional family. My sister, Emily, 28, a marketing influencer, smirked and leaned into her fiancé, Ryan. 15 grand? Cute, Jake. Make it $30,000 if you want a seat at the wedding. The room erupted in laughter. My face burned. Our dad, Greg, raised his glass. Classic Jake, always half-assing it. Mom, Linda, stared at her plate, silent as usual. Humiliation stung, but this wasn't new. I've been their ATM for years, paying Emily's rent, Mom's hospital bills, even Dad's gambling debts. But that night, something snapped. The party was at a swanky downtown Seattle venue, all fairy lights and exposed brick. Emily glowed in her designer dress, Ryan whispering in her ear. I'd saved for months for that $15,000, thinking it'd mean something. But her jab, $30,000 for a seat, cut deep. The laughter echoed, cousins nudging each other, Ryan's buddies smirking. I forced a smile, the one I'd mastered since I was a kid, when Emily would borrow my birthday money and never pay it back. She wasn't joking, though. Her eyes gleamed with that familiar greed. Ryan chuckled. Come on, man, step up. Dad piled on. Always gotta make it about you, huh, Jake? Mom sipped her wine, avoiding my gaze. I felt the weight of every dollar I'd given them. $5,000 for Emily's car, $10,000 for Mom's surgery, countless loans to Dad. Always the fixer. Never enough. I cleared my throat, voice steady. You're right, Emily. 15 grand's too small. The room hushed. Her smirk widened, thinking she'd won. I pulled out my phone, tapped a few buttons, and looked her dead in the eyes. So I canceled it. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Emily's face froze, her laugh dying. Ryan blinked, confused. You... What? She stammered. I didn't stop there. I turned to the massive screen behind me, meant for their sappy engagement. Slideshow. With one tap, it lit up. Not with photos, but with Emily's texts. Jake's such a pushover. He'll pay for the honeymoon, then we'll ditch him. Free cash, LOL. The room went dead silent. Emily's best friend Tara dropped her glass. Ryan's jaw tightened. I kept my voice calm. I'm done, Emily. Done being your wallet. The texts kept scrolling. He's pathetic. Thinks he's family, but he's just a bank. Guests whispered, horrified. Emily's face drained of color. Ryan stepped back, his arms slipping from her waist. Mom finally spoke, her voice a shaky whisper. Jake, please. Stop. But I wasn't stopping. Not tonight. I reached into my jacket and pulled out an envelope, crisp and official. This is your 30-day eviction notice, I said, placing it on the table next to their untouched cake. You and Ryan have a month to get out of my condo. Emily's eyes widened. You can't do this, she shrieked. Dad lunged forward. You ungrateful little... But I cut him off. I will. I turned and walked out, leaving 50 stunned guests and my sister's perfect night in ruins. The air outside hit me like a slap, cold and sharp. I didn't look back. My phone buzzed, Emily's name flashing, but I ignored it. For the first time in years, I felt light, free. They thought they could use me forever, but I'd just burned their game to the ground. And this? This was only the beginning. The next morning, my phone was a battlefield. I woke to 17 missed calls and a flood of texts. Emily's first, You humiliated me. Fix this now. Then Mom, Jake, how could you do this to your sister? We're family. Dad's was a venomous rant. You're a selfish prick. You'll regret this. I sat on my couch, staring at the Seattle skyline through my condo's floor-to-ceiling windows. The same condo Emily and Ryan had been crashing in rent-free for a year. I'd poured my savings into this place, thinking it'd be my sanctuary. Instead, it became their playground. Parties, late-night fights, my furniture trashed. I sipped my coffee, ignoring the buzzing. They thought I'd cave, like always. Not this time. By noon, they took it public. Mom's Facebook post was a masterpiece of guilt-tripping. Family is about forgiveness. Some people forget that. Comments poured in. Uncles, aunts, Emily's influencer friends piling on with heart emojis and vague shade. "Stay strong, Linda," one wrote. Emily's Instagram story was next. A tear-streaked selfie captioned, "Betrayal hurts most when it's blood." Ryan chimed in on Twitter. "Some dudes just love tearing others down. Sad." My phone pinged with notifications, cousins unfollowing, me old high school buddies DMing, "Yo, what's going on?" I didn't respond. Let them spin their narrative. I had the truth. I was scrolling through their posts when a call came from an unexpected number. Claire, Ryan's older sister. We'd met once, at a holiday dinner, where she seemed like the only grounded person in Ryan's orbit. I hesitated, then picked up. "Jake," she said, her voice tight, "I need to know what really happened last night." I leaned back, debating. Then I spilled it. The $15,000 gift, Emily's cruel jab, the texts where she mocked me, bragged about using me. Claire was quiet for a long moment. "I knew it," she finally said. "Ryan's been shady too. I found messages on his phone. Flirting. With Emily's maid of honor. He's been playing her." My grip tightened on the phone. "You serious?" "Dead serious," she snapped. "I'm telling Emily everything." I didn't expect it to unravel so fast. By evening, Emily's Instagram was offline, her profile picture gone. Ryan's Twitter went private. Then the family group chat exploded. Mom. "Jake, what did you say to Claire? Emily's a mess." Dad. "You've destroyed your sister's life, you snake." Emily. "You're a liar. I'll make you pay." I stared at the messages, a cold satisfaction settling in. I hadn't destroyed her life. She'd done that herself. But I wasn't done. I opened my laptop, pulling up the cloud account linked to the condos. Security cameras. Emily and Ryan thought they were slick, but they forgot I had eyes everywhere. It took 10 minutes to find the gold. A clip from 2 months ago. Emily and Ryan in my living room, sprawled on my couch, a bottle of my bourbon in Ryan's hand. "Jake's such a sucker," Emily laughed, slurring. "He pays for everything. Rent, car, even this ring." She flashed her engagement rock. Ryan grinned. "Dude's too spineless to say no. We'll milk him dry, then ghost him after the wedding." My stomach churned, but I kept watching. "He'll never figure it out," Emily added. "He's too busy playing Big Brother." I saved the clip, backed it up, then dug deeper. Bank records, Venmo transfers, screenshots of Emily's texts begging for one last loan. Over $35,000 in 2 years. My war chest was growing. I wasn't just fighting for me anymore. This was about ripping off their masks, showing everyone who they really were. My phone buzzed again. "Dad, you think you're untouchable? Take it all down, or I'll make sure you lose everything." I smiled, a real one this time. They had no idea how ready I was. I leaned back, the city lights glittering outside. Emily wanted a war? Fine. I'd bring the fire. The fallout hit like a tsunami. My phone didn't stop. Texts, voicemails, notifications piling up like debris. Emily's latest message was a dagger. "You're dead to me, Jake. You'll pay for this." Mom's was softer, pleading. "Please, let's talk. Just you and me." Dad's was pure rage. "You're no son of mine. Take it down now." I sat in my condo, the Seattle rain drumming against the windows, and felt a strange calm. They thought they could bully me into silence, like when I was a kid and Emily would borrow my stuff, or Dad would scream until I backed down. Not anymore. I'd exposed their game, and they were scrambling. Mom's call came that night. Her voice was shaky, not her usual polished guilt trip. "Jake, can we meet? Just us. No fighting. There's a coffee shop by my book club, Elliott Bay Cafe. Tomorrow, 3 p.m.? I almost said no, but a part of me wanted to see if she'd finally admit the truth. "Fine," I said. "I'll be there." The cafe was a cozy nook in Capitol Hill, all wooden shelves and the smell of roasted beans. I watched through the window as Mom sat, alone, fidgeting with her scarf. She looked smaller, like the weight of this mess was crushing her. I walked in, ordered a black coffee, and sat across from her. "Thanks for coming," she whispered. "I just want to fix this." "Fix what?" I asked, voice low. "Emily's lies? Dad's threats? Or the fact you've never once stood up for me?" Her eyes welled up. Jake, please. Emily's falling apart. Ryan's gone. You don't know what you've done. I leaned forward, my coffee untouched. I know exactly what I've done. I showed everyone who she really is. Mom reached for my hand, but I pulled back. Family doesn't do this, she said. Family doesn't betray each other. I laughed bitter. Family? You mean the people who've used me for years? The ones who laughed when Emily humiliated me? Her face crumpled, but before she could respond, the cafe door swung open. Emily stormed in, eyes blazing, Dad trailing behind like a thundercloud. Mom's head snapped up. You weren't supposed to. Save it, Emily cut her off, yanking a chair out. We're done playing nice. Dad loomed over me, his voice a growl. You've gone too far, Jake. You think you can air our dirty laundry and walk away? I glanced at Mom, her panic obvious. So much for just us. Emily leaned in, smirking. What, no more tricks? No more screens to hide behind? I sipped my coffee, forcing my pulse to stay steady. You want tricks? How about the one where you bragged about scamming me? Or the texts where you called Ryan a backup plan behind his back? Her smirk faltered just for a second. Dad slammed his fist on the table, rattling the cups. You're a coward, Jake. Always have been. Hiding behind your money, your gadgets. I met his glare. And you're a bully who's out of moves. Emily laughed, sharp and cruel. You're pathetic. You think anyone cares about your little videos? No one believes you. I smiled, slow and deliberate. They will. I pulled out my phone and tapped the cafe's TV screen, normally used for open mic poetry readings. It flickered to life, and Emily's voice filled the room. Jake's. So easy. He'll pay for the wedding, the condo, everything. Then we'll cut him off. Customers turned, wide-eyed. Mom gasped, hand over her mouth. The video rolled on. Emily and Ryan in my condo, laughing about my pathetic trust. He's not even family, just a cash machine. Emily lunged for my phone, but I yanked it back. Turn it off, she screamed. Dad's face was ashen, his bravado gone. I switched to screenshots, texts where Emily mocked Mom's weakness, called Dad a has-been. Then the kicker, an audio clip of Dad's voice. Keep Jake on a leash, he'll fold like always. The cafe was silent, every eye on us. I stood, voice calm but cutting. You're not my family, you're poison. I grabbed my coat and walked out, leaving them frozen in their shame. The silence in my condo that night was a gift. No buzzing phone, no angry voicemails, just the soft patter of Seattle rain and the hum of my fridge. I sank into my couch, the weight of the cafe showdown still tingling in my veins. Emily's scream, Dad's pale face, Mom's tears. They replayed like a movie I'd directed. For years, I'd been their puppet, strings pulled by guilt and obligation, but I'd cut them loose. My phone lit up, shattering the quiet. Emily, this isn't over. You'll regret this. Dad, you're a traitor. You've ruined us. Mom. Jake, please, talk to me. I stared at the screen, feeling nothing but resolve. They weren't sorry. They were scared. And they should be. I opened my laptop, my war chest glowing. On the screen, security footage, bank transfers, Emily's venomous texts, Dad's recorded threats. Over $40,000 I'd shelled out. Rent, car payments, emergency loans they never repaid. The video of Emily and Ryan mocking me in my own home was the crown jewel. Jake's so clueless, she'd laughed. He thinks he's helping. Family. I saved another backup, my fingers steady. This wasn't about revenge, it was about justice, about showing the world their true faces. My phone buzzed again. Claire, Ryan's sister. Jake, you were right about everything, she texted. Emily's spiraling. Ryan's out. Can we talk? I hesitated, then replied. Tomorrow, noon, Pike Place Market. The market was alive the next day. Fish flying, vendors shouting, the air thick with salt and coffee. Claire waited by the bronze pig statue, her face grim but determined. We grabbed coffee and found a quiet bench. Emily's done, she said, voice low. After your stunt at the party, I showed her Ryan's texts, flirting with her friends, planning to ditch her after the wedding. She kicked him out. I nodded, unsurprised. And Ryan? Claire's eyes darkened. He's begging her to take him back, but she's not budging. Your video, it broke her. I sipped my coffee, the bitterness matching my mood. She broke herself. Claire leaned forward. There's more. I found Emily's laptop open. Last night. She's been running a scam. Fake influencer deals. Pocketing deposits from brands. She used your money to prop up her image. My jaw tightened. How much? At least $20,000, Claire said. She's been lying to everyone, not just you. I felt a cold burn spread through me. Emily hadn't just used me. She'd built her whole life on fraud. I'm done playing nice, I said. Claire nodded. Good, because she's planning to sue you for defamation. I laughed, sharp and humorless. Let her try. Back home I called an old college friend, Sarah, now a cutthroat attorney in Bellevue. She met me that evening at a sleek office overlooking Lake Washington. I handed her my evidence, videos, texts, bank records. Her eyes widened as she scrolled through it. Jake, this isn't just a family feud. This is fraud, emotional manipulation, maybe even theft. She tapped the video of Emily laughing about my money. This alone could bury her. I leaned back, arms crossed. I want it all back, every cent. Sarah grinned, predatory. Oh, we'll do better than that. We'll make them bleed. The lawsuit was filed the next day. I named Emily and Dad, her for the money, him for enabling it. The papers hit them like a freight train. Mom called first, her voice cracking. Jake, a lawsuit? Against your own sister? Please, stop this. I cut her off. Stop defending her. She stole from me. Dad's voicemail was next. Pure venom. You think you're a big man now? The judge will laugh you out of court. Emily tried bargaining. Okay, fine. I'll pay you back. Drop the case. I texted back. With what? Your fake brand deals? Her silence was louder than any. Scream. The family group chat became a war zone. Cousins unfriended me. Aunts posted cryptic Bible verses about forgiveness. Emily's friends flooded social media with sob stories. Jake's tearing his family apart. So sad. But cracks started showing. Claire commented on Mom's post. Ask Emily about the money she stole first. A distant uncle DM'd me. Is this true? What's going on? I didn't respond. I'd let the evidence speak. Sarah called that night. They're panicking, she said. Emily's lawyer wants to settle. Should we push? I stared. Out at the city lights, my reflection sharp in the glass. Push, I said. I'm done running. The weeks before the court date were a storm. My phone was a minefield. Emily's threats, Mom's tearful pleas, Dad's rants. You're tearing us apart, Jake, Mom texted. You'll burn for this, Dad wrote. Emily's messages swung from venom to desperation. I'll ruin you, to please, let's talk. I'll fix it. I blocked them all, their words fading into static. My condo, once a war zone of their chaos, was now my fortress. The Seattle skyline glittered outside, a reminder of what I'd fought for. I wasn't just reclaiming my money. I was reclaiming myself. But the fight wasn't over. Emily's lawyer was scrambling, pushing for a settlement, but Sarah, my attorney, was a shark. They're weak, she said. We've got them cornered. I spent nights combing through my war chest, adding new ammo. A bank statement showed $8,000 I'd wired Emily for a work emergency. A lie to fund her fake influencer gigs. Another clip from my condo's security camera. Emily bragging to a friend. Jake's money paid for my new Chanel bag. He's too dumb to check. I found an email from Dad, years old, promising to repay a $5,000 loan he'd gambled. Away. The total? Over $50,000 they'd bled from me. Sarah's eyes gleamed when I showed her. This is a slam dunk, she said. They manipulated you for years. The judge will eat this up. I nodded, but a quiet ache lingered. Winning didn't feel like victory. It felt like carving out a piece of my past. The courtroom was cold, all polished wood and sterile light. I sat beside Sarah, my suit crisp, my hands steady. Emily sat across the room, her face pale, no trace of her influencer glow. Dad was next to her, his jaw tight, eyes burning holes into me. Mom was in the gallery clutching a tissue, her gaze darting between us. The judge, a stern woman with sharp eyes, called the case. Sarah stood, her voice like a blade. My client, Jake Larson, was systematically exploited by his sister Emily and father Greg. Over $50,000 in payments, rent, loans, gifts were extracted under false pretenses. She clicked a remote, and the courtroom screen lit up with Emily's video. "Jake's a sucker, he'll pay for anything." Gasps rippled through the room. Emily shrank in her seat, her lawyer whispering frantically. Sarah didn't pause. "This isn't generosity. It's fraud." She presented bank records, texts, the audio of Dad's voice. "Keep Jake on a leash, he'll fold." The judge's expression hardened. Emily's lawyer tried to spin it. "These were family gifts, freely given," Sarah countered. "Gifts? Or manipulation? Jake was mocked, lied to, and discarded." She played the cafe video, Emily's voice sneering. "He's not family, just a cash machine." Mom's sob echoed in the silence. Dad's knuckles whitened, on the table. I took the stand, my voice calm but firm. "I thought I was helping my family. I paid their bills, their rent, their debts. But they laughed behind my back, used me, betrayed me." The judge watched me closely. "Why keep giving?" she asked. I swallowed. I wanted to believe they cared. But they didn't. Emily's lawyer cross-examined, digging for cracks. "You never asked for repayment, did you?" I met his gaze. "I shouldn't have had to. Family doesn't steal." The room felt heavy. Every eye on me. Sarah's final blow was a spreadsheet. $50,000 in payments, 0 repaid. The judge's pen scratched furiously. The gavel fell like thunder. "I rule in favor of the plaintiff," the judge declared. "Emily Larson and Greg Larson are ordered to repay $50,000 plus $10,000 in emotional distress damages." Emily's face crumpled, a silent scream. Dad's shoulders slumped, his fight gone. Mom's tears soaked her tissue. I stood, the weight lifting from my chest. Sarah squeezed my arm. "You did it." I nodded. But as I walked out, Emily's voice chased me. "You're a monster, Jake." I didn't turn back. The courtroom doors closed, and for the first time in years, I breathed free. Outside, the rain had stopped. The sky a rare Seattle blue. My phone buzzed. "Claire." "You won. They're done." I smiled, but the victory was bittersweet. I'd exposed them, reclaimed my life. But the cost was my family, or what I'd once thought was family. I walked to my car, the city alive around me. This wasn't the end. They'd fight back, clawing like always. But I was ready. For the first time I wasn't running, I was standing tall. The courtroom victory should have been the end, but my family didn't know how to quit. The first payment, $5,000, hit my account a month later, cold and automated, like a grudging admission of defeat. Emily's car, the shiny BMW I'd half-funded, was sold to cover it. Dad drained his 401k, but it barely dented the $60,000 they owed. Mom tried to play peacemaker, showing up at my condo, her eyes red. "Jake, please," she sobbed through the intercom. "We can work this out. Don't shut us out." I didn't open the door. "You shut me out first," I said, walking away. The Seattle rain drowned her voice as I turned up the music in my now quiet home. Freedom tasted sharp, but it came with a shadow. They didn't stop. Emily's Instagram flickered back to life, a martyr's comeback. Rising above betrayal, family hurts the most. Her followers ate it up, flooding her with sympathy. Dad's texts were relentless. "You're a snake. You'll pay for this." A cousin called, voice hesitant. "Jake, are you sure you're doing the right thing?" I hung up. The family group chat was a graveyard. Me muted, them raging. But whispers spread. Claire, Ryan's sister, texted, "Emily's telling everyone you faked the evidence. She's planning something." I gripped my phone, jaw tight. Of course she was. Emily didn't lose. She rewrote the story. I met Sarah, my attorney, at a sleek Belltown diner, neon lights buzzing outside. She slid a folder across the table. Emily's lawyer filed a counterclaim. Defamation and emotional distress. "They're saying you doctored the videos." I laughed cold. "Let them try. We have backups, timestamps, metadata." Sarah nodded, but her eyes were serious. "There's more. Emily's been digging into your past. Old co-workers, exes, anyone who might smear you. And your dad. He's been calling reporters, pitching a greedy son destroys family story." My stomach twisted. They weren't just fighting. They were weaponizing shame. I went home and opened my war chest, now a fortress of evidence. I added new finds. A voicemail from Emily, slurring after a party. Jake's such a loser, always bailing us out. A bank transfer receipt, $3,000 to Dad for car repairs that funded a Vegas trip. Then I found it, the knockout punch, a hidden folder on my cloud drive, synced from Emily's old laptop when she'd used my Wi-Fi. Emails to a shady consultant, outlining her fake influencer scams. Take the deposit, ghost the brand, blame Jake if they ask. She'd funneled $25,000 of my money into it. I forwarded everything to Sarah. Bury them, I said. She didn't hesitate. Consider it done. The counterclaim hearing was a circus. Emily took the stand, tears on cue, spinning a tale of a jealous brother who faked videos to ruin her. Dad backed her up, voice shaking with rehearsed rage. Jake's always been selfish. He tore us apart. Mom sat in the gallery, silent, her face a mask of grief. Sarah dismantled them methodically. She played the original videos, verified by a forensic tech. She showed the emails, linking Emily's scams to my payments. The judge's eyes narrowed as Emily stammered, her lies unraveling. Sarah's final move was a bombshell. A new witness, Claire. She testified about Emily's deceit, Ryan's cheating, and the laptop evidence. The courtroom gasped. Emily's lawyers slumped. The judge dismissed the counterclaim, adding $5,000 to my damages for frivolous litigation. Outside, Emily lunged at me, screaming, "You've destroyed my life!" Security pulled her back. Dad's glare burned, but he said nothing. Mom just stood there whispering, "Jake, why?" I walked past, the weight gone. That night I saw Claire at a Capitol Hill bar. She raised a beer. "You ended them," I clinked her glass. "They ended themselves." She told me Emily's brand deals were collapsing, her followers turning. Dad was couch surfing, his pride shattered. Mom had checked into therapy, finally facing the truth. I nodded, but the ache lingered. I'd won, but at what cost? Back home, I opened my laptop and started typing. Not a lawsuit, not a post, but a letter to myself. Dear Jake, you're not their ATM. You're not their punching bag. You're you, strong, enough, free. I saved it, closed the lid, and stepped onto my balcony. The city sparkled, alive and vast. My phone stayed silent, no texts, no threats. The rain fell, soft and cleansing. I wasn't just free from them, I was free from the fear of losing them. The explosion wasn't the lawsuit or the videos. It was me finally choosing myself. And as the skyline glowed, I knew this wasn't an ending. It was a beginning. And here it is, the finale of today's story. Did everything turn out as you imagined? Or did it end unexpectedly? I'd love to hear what you think. Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and let's dive into the discussion together. If this story kept you in suspense, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't signed up yet, what are you waiting for? This is your chance to join an incredible community where exciting new stories unfold every day. Click the subscribe button and turn on notifications to stay up to date. Thanks for your attention, and see you on your new adventures.